Welcome to V5, where we spend exactly 5 minutes getting on our soapbox with the widest range of hot takes and topics in all of B2B go-to-market. Got a fun one today. I promise y'all. This is Em Daigle, who is the founder and chief automation officer at OTTO-MATES. Em, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jarod. Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. All right, so you know the rules, you know the game. What is on your mind? What's your take?
Okay, mine is that most sales and pre-sales teams talk about value without ever really earning the right to use that word. And I think now more than ever, that's needed because of AI. I think value is not a slide. It's not a feature list. It's not a demo or some clever ROI calculator, but I really believe that the value is built on trust and understanding and gaining the credibility of your customers. And that's why I think the personal trusted relationships that can be created is going to make sales folks more successful than ever in the face of AI. I think if you don't deeply understand your customers' real pain points, why it matters, what's the day-to-day impact to your customer, what's at stake for them, then you're not able to really provide value. You're just presenting. And so I think that's why so many sales processes or sales cycles really can feel more transactional and forgettable. But when sales teams take the time to really know and understand their buyers, listen to how they want to engage, and they build those relationships that are really rooted in trust, the whole process changes, and maybe buying could even be considered enjoyable.
I love this take because the notion that value is not a slide and it is earned, not given, just cuts to the core. How does, and I think you've alluded to this, but how does a seller earn the right to communicate value?
It really kind of lies in two different ways from an organization perspective to help sales folks be able to do this. I think one is around enablement. And while sales teams are already deeply entrenched in the enablement, it's often focused on things like process and product, the playbook, if you will, right? And so while these are obviously critical components, I do believe that the know your customer aspect of enablement is either overlooked or deprioritized. The knowledge and understanding of the buyer is exactly what is needed to build that credibility or trust. If you don't understand why something is a challenge for that individual, it's going to make it really difficult to tie the value. And instead, you're just going to be going through the playbook of, okay, I know I need to ask these questions, and not being able to know what's the next level question. Like, why does this matter? So that you can ask those good discovery questions, right? And I think the other one is around KPIs. So I think as long as organizations make sure that they are also including the measurement and rewarding of depth and not just activity. So maybe it's around, I kind of brought up discovery, right? But maybe it's something with discovery quality scores. Maybe it's customer validation. Like when you get to the end of a demo, like, did we show you the things that addressed your challenges? And being able to like understand and allow those folks to give you that feedback, and you can hear it, learn it, understand it. I think that's where it's incredibly critical. And like I said, helps make those connections and those personal connections even stronger.
Yeah, I mean, I love this. We talk about this for days. You alluded to something I think we all feel. AI is making it worse, or AI is exasperating the problem. Maybe twofold. Where do you think AI makes it worse? And where does AI have an opportunity to make it better?
Oh, I like that question. So I think AI can make it worse in the sense that if you rely too heavily in the same conversation, right, with sales and pre-sales, if you rely too heavily on that AI to be able to maybe understand your customers' pain points or understand what's going on, you're getting a very narrow view, tunnel vision on what is going on. But I think there is a lot of benefit to AI, especially when there are those repetitive tasks. Things like agents that can help almost be a co-pilot to you and help you just be more productive. That's where I think AI is really helpful. But those personal relationships and really being able to make those connections and get that credibility, I don't believe that's anything that AI will ever take over. That's why I believe, like, I hear sometimes that it's going to take jobs over, and it will take some jobs over. But I think, especially with sales and pre-sales, it's going to make the ability to connect with your customer even stronger, because you're not spending time on all the process driven stuff. Let AI take care of that, but really spend the time connecting with, gaining that credibility, understanding those challenges from a personal perspective to be able to drive that value.
Totally. Yeah. It gives you more time to be human. Like all the things you don't have time to do anymore, you got no excuse now, because the AI is doing all the stuff you don't want to do. So you can do the things that humans need done. So obviously could talk about this for days, and I want to, but for the purposes of the show, we'll keep it short. This goes fast, doesn't it?
It really does. I feel like, to your point, I could do this for days, and we should definitely chat online more because I'm very passionate about this.
Awesome. And then if you wanted to share that passion, other folks wanted to connect with you, where do they find you and how do they do that?
Best way is LinkedIn. It's I'm there all day, every day. So that is probably the best place to find me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Jarod, thanks so much for having me.
You've been listening to The Unexpected Lever. This stuff gets you fired up and you want to talk about it with other leaders? Join the Powerline Slack community. It's a modern, open access community for go-to-market professionals and AI enthusiasts alike. We're all ready to turn buzz into business outcomes. Join by going to vivint.com/community. We hope to see you there.